Gridfinity is by far one of the best practical prints of all time. And if you've watched this channel for any period of time, you know that I love Gridfinity. I haven't made a Gridfinity video in quite a while, and I wanted to show you everything that I use Gridfinity for on a daily basis. Yes, I have made videos dedicated to certain drawers or certain areas of my house, such as organizing my toolbox from a disgusting mess to somewhere where I know where every single tool is at all times, or changing my cable drawer from a big old spider web of nothing to an organized space where I can keep way more cables than I could ever need. But today I wanted to make a quick little video overview of everything that I use Gridfinity for to inspire you to use it as well. And you may be noticing we're in a completely different setting than my normal videos, and that's because I'm trying to get better at lighting. All of my previous videos use upwards of 5 lights, 2 practical and about 3 for effect. However, in this video, I'm only using 1. What do these posters have to do with 3D printing? Absolutely nothing. I just think they look cool. Speaking of looking cool, that is not what we're doing today. Everything that I'm going to show you today is practical. Kind of. You'll see what I mean in a second. You notice I fixed the volume in that transition? I told you, it was just a one-time thing. It's never going to happen again, I promise. The first thing we're going to take a look at today is my custom-made Milwaukee storage drawer. Being quite the Milwaukee fanboy, I wanted to keep all of my tools that use the same battery in one drawer organized, all in their place. Now I know what you're thinking, can't I just throw all these tools and the batteries into this drawer and just call it a day? Yes, I could. But I have a 3D printer and this just looks so much cooler. I know you can't fit as many items in the drawer anymore, but everything is organized, I know where it is, and I know when something is missing. Kind of how you have to tag out a tool when you're working on an aircraft to make sure you don't leave it in the engine. I know if my girlfriend used my drill to hang up a picture while I'm at work because it's not going to be in the spot where I left it. But back to the main reason, it just looks cool, and I actually had to design this one myself. Now the design process was super easy for both the base plate and the actual storage solution itself. The base plate was made using a Gridfinity generator on Onshape. I'll leave the link down below, it worked great. And the main bulk of the bin was also created using this plugin as well. All I had to do was create the right size bin, fill it in completely, upload a picture of my tools in the orientation that I want them stored in, place that picture on top of the bin in Onshape, make sure that it is scaled correctly so that everything is the right size. Carefully trace around each individual tool using the splice, the line, the 3-point curve tool, whatever I felt necessary to make the right outline around the tool. Extrude that outline into the bin to create a negative space and a perfect cutout for the tool. And if I wanted to, I could add a spot to grab it as well. However, these tools are sticking out enough that I don't find it necessary. After I got all of the tools all traced out, I realized that my 256mm Bambu printer is just not big enough to print out this entire piece in one go, so I split it into 4s. Sent all 4 of those pieces to the printer, printed them out of some PETG because it gets mighty hot in the summer in Arizona. And I don't want to make the same mistake again when I learned that PLA melts in your car in the summer. It's not a fun time. And here we are, everything fits almost perfectly. Of course, I could make it look a little bit better and a little bit more finalized, but for me, this is all that I need and I love the way that this turned out. I actually can't wait to do the rest of my drawers like this. While we're on the topic of toolboxes, I also use Gridfinity to organize my ratchets. This again uses the same base plate as the last drawer. I found this universal ratchet holder for Gridfinity on MakerWorld already made, and it just does everything I needed it to do. It works universally. There are plenty of different sizes for whatever ratchet you got, 1/4 inch, 3/4, 1/2 inch, and it can fit any length of handle because you just move it back a square if it's too short. If it's too long, guess what? Just move it up a square. It fits anything you need. Then if we take a hard left and look at the sockets, you can see that I use a lot of Gridfinity in there as well. However, this one is a combination of Harbor Freight and Gridfinity. Dangerous combination, I know, but that Harbor Freight return policy has never left me hanging dry. You can see I'm using Harbor Freight to store the majority of my sockets. However, I'm using a 3D printed Gridfinity socket organizer for some of those more specialized sockets like adapters or duplicates. Or sockets that I got with some random piece of furniture and I have no clue what else I'm going to use it for, but I keep it because I might need it in 15 years. Now let's take a look at the kitchen. I'm just kidding, I haven't quite finished up that drawer yet, so that's a future video. You should subscribe, we're trying to hit 20k, and you also don't want to miss the Gridfinity kitchen video, do you? If you have been subscribed for quite a while, then this cable organization drawer is nothing new to you. However, there is a ton of you that are new around here, so thanks for stopping by, and here's my cable organization drawer. I actually made a more in-depth video about this a long time ago. You can go check that out in the corner, but I do need to warn you, the video qualities came quite a long way if you know what I mean, so just be warned. This was one of my very first Gridfinity projects, and it is kind of what sparked my love for it. I'm using a super light base that I found already on MakerWorld for the IKEA Alex drawer. This base fit perfectly, it even had a spacer so there wasn't any wiggle room. Now I'm using a ton of different designs for the cable storage in this drawer because there are tons of different cables out there. I have super skinny long drawers for those long cables like HDMIs. I have super long and a little bit wider drawers for some of those USB extensions that are 20 feet long and are really hard to put anywhere else. I've got sections in here that are great at holding those cords for your devices like an Apple iPhone cord, those USB-C cords that are taken over these days, or a random micro USB cable that you've never seen before. You can keep that in here as well. And then I've got a bin for all of that stuff just a little bit bigger, maybe your 10-foot cables or your 15-foot cables. Basically what I'm trying to say is if there is a cable that you need to store, there is a bin out there, I can guarantee it. In fact, I filled up this bin a lot quicker than I thought and had to create a second one. Now this one is quite empty, but I'm sure it won't take long for me to find cables to fill this thing up too. I was thinking about color coding it so I could have all the red drawers be USB-C, all of the blue drawers be lightning cables, all of the black drawers be USB, but it kind of gets a little bit muddy because you're going to have USB-C to USB-C, USB to USB-C, USB to lightning, and what part do I organize it for? Do I organize it for what it's charging, or do I organize it for how it's being charged? You know what I mean? I don't know, I couldn't figure it out, so I just printed them all in white. But that is my Gridfinity cable storage. I just love it. I've said it plenty of times, this is my favorite Gridfinity projects by far. If we go to the next drawer in this IKEA Alex drawer, we're going to see a bunch of tools. I basically keep all the tools that are needed for indoor things in here. It's like a hidden toolbox. You never know what's in there. And it's so much easier having it inside where you need it than having to walk to the garage, grabbing the wrong pair of pliers, going back to the garage to swap it out. Everything's just right here. This drawer is mainly designed for making things and fixing 3D printers because my workspace is right there. It's on the desk that is holding up. I've got a couple of custom bins in here for storing my different types of glue and my build plate glue, as well as my pliers, screwdrivers, scrapers, Allen wrenches, magnets, bearings, soldering equipment, screen cleaners, cable holders, cable ties, and tons of different M3 hardware because it is by far the most used in 3D printing. Next, we're going to go up to my most used drawer by far. I use this thing every single day, and that's not an exaggeration. I know I say it a lot. I really do use this drawer every single day. I'm going to walk you through everything I have in there right now. On the left, we're going to start off with a custom bin I made for a roller, fabric tape measure, and some spare Cricut tools. We're going to notice there's a lot of sticker making things in this drawer because before I started this whole YouTube thing, I made mental health awareness stickers and sold them online. In fact, I still do. And this is where I keep all the tools to do that. Next, we have another custom made drawer for a couple of picks, a Sharpie, and a pen. Right next to that is where I keep my box cutters. Right next to that is where I'm going to have my caliber and scissors storage. I just haven't quite designed it yet. Moving up, we have scraper storage, and I have one space for each of my scrapers. Next, we have some of your standard tape. Next to the tape, we have various bits for my electric screwdrivers. Speaking of electric screwdrivers, I'm just kidding, there's no ad in this one, don't freak out. But this is where I keep the Fantic screwdriver as well as my Amazon Basic screwdriver. Above that, it's a little bit hard to see, but I have a deburring tool which helps me clean up all those 3D prints that have a little bit of a rough edge on them. To the right, we have some electrical tape storage in all the different colors you could ever imagine. Next up is multiple blades for the deburring tool because those things can get worn out pretty easily. And then we have more scraper storage, which at the moment I don't have any in there. And that's my top most used drawer fully organized with Gridfinity for everything. My goal is to get this entire drawer fully organized with Gridfinity, and I'm very close. I'm only one drawer away. I just don't really know what I should put in there, so let me know in the comments. And if you're thinking about Gridfinity but you don't have a drawer and you want to go vertical on a wall, you should check out some IKEA SCADA boards, which might be a future video because I love those things almost as much as I love Gridfinity. It's not quite, but it's close. But that's all I have for you today. I just wanted to show you what I've been doing lately with Gridfinity because I think it's just such an amazing project. And I wanted to inspire you a little bit to go out and make something with Gridfinity, or make something that somebody else already made with Gridfinity and use it yourself. You have a 3D printer, you might as well do 3D printer things, and this is one of the most iconic 3D printer things of all time. But I really do hope you enjoyed the video. If you did like it, you could give it a like. It just makes sense. If you really liked it, you should subscribe, but I'm not going to make you. It won't hurt my feelings if you don't, I promise. It's just that it would be so nice of you, and you're so close to hitting that subscribe button. You could do it so easily, but you don't need to. It's no big deal. If you have any questions about what you saw in the video, leave it in the comments down below. I'll try to answer as best as I can. And if you want to check out some of my other videos, you should do that. They're going to be right in front of you right now. But I can't make you like the video. I can't make you subscribe. I can't make you watch my other videos. Honestly, there's very few of you that are watching right now, but what I can make you do is make sure you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you later.